Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff Marchand from NIGHTCARVER Design, and today on the show I have a husband and wife couple, Brooke and Michael. They are from the Makers Workshop LLC, and they're pretty dope. I met them at Makers Camp very briefly, and you're going to hear all about that very soon. They were just really cool, and I knew I wanted to sit down and chat longer with them. So this was a great opportunity to get to know some local Massachusetts makers. A huge thank you to the sponsor of the show, Saburrtooth Power Carving. Y'all know I love them, and if you're looking to get into power carving, you can use my code NIGHTCARVER10 in all caps to save 10% on your order. All right, without any further delay, let's get on with the show. I was excited because I know we were talking about you making like laser ready pieces of wood.
Yeah.
And as I was stalking you, I was like, this is something they've been doing for a while. Like, it's not new, which I didn't know.
It's not new. We're starting to push it a little bit more recently because we've started to have enough stock that we're kind of comfortable pushing it, but it's also just a long process. Like, I don't know how many people have ever tried prepping lumber from like wet log to usable.
Probably not a lot.
It's just a long process. Yeah.
No, for that one reason, like having to store it and keep watching it.
Yeah, no, and we have like, I don't know, like we have like such a system down for like drying the wood at this point that we were talking through it with someone the other day, because like to us it's just second nature at this point. We're like, oh yeah, we do this and this, but as we started describing it, I was like, no, we need to give ourselves a bit more credit, because we took the time to like really figure out how to make it work, and it took like 3 years of just slow trial and error to get a system down.
Yep.
So yeah, laser ready sheets, people.
No, it's cool. Believe me, I'll hit you up when I'm ready to play with some fancy woods.
Oh yeah, no, definitely do. And it's all local. It's all stuff that's from the Boston area, which I think is cool because it's local. Like, why pay to have, not pay, it's just like, why truck in raw material when you can use the local stuff? You know, and like in the Boston area, like you're from here. I keep talking about how we're both from Massachusetts.
Well, I'm from Springfield. I'm on the west.
Yeah, you're like in no man's land. like what's out there, no one knows. But
get past Worcester and they don't know who you are. Jeez.
Just kidding. But like, there's a lot of trees here, and like in Massachusetts, they get chipped. Like, they just get wasted 9 times out of 10, and they come down all the time. Not just because people are like deforesting, they come down just because they're gonna like hit someone's house.
Yeah.
So it's a shame when that just goes to waste.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
So, what kind of laser did you get?
I got a Boss laser. It's 70 watts. And it's a 14 by 20 bed. So it's a rather small bed, but like, I had to fit it through my basement through 3 doors. And I've been threatened I've been threatened if we sell this house, we sell the laser with it, because it was so hard to get into this house. So
wow. No, so that's a real consideration.
It is, yeah. I didn't want to put it in my shop.
Okay.
My shop's so small.
Did you think about that before you bought it, or did you buy it and then have the moment of, oh, there's doors?
No, I thought about it when I bought it, and I actually bought a smaller model. But then when I was ordering it, she goes, oh, do you want to upgrade for just like, it was like some cheap ass price? And I was like, sure. Not even thinking like, oh, this upgrade just added inches to the dimensions that I had just pre-planned. So everything was tighter than I had measured. And I was like, oh God.
But it's there.
It's there. We scratched it. We broke a hinge, but it's there.
You mean the delivery company did?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. When we got our big laser, our huge like Laguna one, when it got delivered, it was on a pallet that was like, what do you call it? Like that just cruddy, like mosaic-y looking wood. The corner of the laser broke through the middle of it. I don't know if I can even fully describe this. It was a little bit of a nightmare, because we were looking at it being like, how do we lift this out now? It got like stuck inside the pallet, like on a tilt.
Well, then we don't have we don't have a forklift or anything.
No.
So, it shows up. It was bigger than I was anticipating.
It
Like I didn't
always
actually
is, man.
read it.
It was the
And
size
so
of
they actually sent a second truck so that they could like try to get it on the 2 lift gates.
Oh, wow.
even the
What a
ship,
sight to see.
Did they needed to like close our street actually?
Yeah.
They did. I forgot about that. They had to close our street. Like it was one shipping truck, and then he like called a buddy because he was like, I can't get it out, dude. Like this is too big.
Oh my God. Oh, I was scared enough seeing my box come out. I was just like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Like our plan was to like bring it down right away. No, it was like just shove it in a garage and then we'll call people on the weekend.
Yeah. No, you don't want to do it quickly or rashly because if you break the laser tube, womp womp.
Exactly.
No
I have a
bueno.
1-car garage. Like that's all I'm working with. So it was like, what footprint do I want to take up? And I want to power carve in there when I want to power carve. And that wouldn't be so great for the laser. So
No.
yeah.
No.
I'm not a clean power carver.
I mean, is anyone a clean power carver?
No, but I'll just carve and just let the dust fly everywhere in the shop and then I blow it out.
Ours is right next to the big CNC machine. So
is it? Well, mine is
yeah.
actually, I carve right next to my CNC, but I figure that makes a big mess. So not a big deal.
No, I mean, our laser is. So
oh, your laser is
2 years at this point, still working fine.
We just kind of close our eyes and just pretend it's okay because there's no other option.
Yep.
Do you have a vacuum on a CNC?
It has a vacuum, but it's only like, okay. Like
I never
you know
use
how those
it.
things go.
Yeah, exactly. I have the kit and I'm like, I'll do it one day.
Yeah.
The problem is like when we're doing slabs or we're flattening laser ready sheets on the big CNC bed, it's just kind of understood that it's going to be a messy day and we just kind of lean into it and don't worry about it.
Yeah. I get it.
Good advice, but that's what we do.
How big is your space that you have? Like you have a whole maker studio, right?
Yeah, we have a maker space and then we have our industrial machine shop. They're kind of 2 different spaces.
Fancy.
We kind of just pretend like it's all one big space online because it's easier.
That makes sense.
Industrial machines are in our detached garage because we needed garage doors and we don't have those at the makerspace.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then our makerspace is like that brick building that we use because it looks pretty to like, this is our shop.
It does.
And how many square feet is the makerspace? Because we have that plus a 2-car garage.
Makerspace it's not the biggest space. It's like 1,300 square feet.
Oh, that's awesome though.
And then the garage is a 2-car garage, so it's 25 by 25.
Nice.
So just big enough for the couple of.
It makes sense why you can only fit like those certain machines.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We all want a bigger CNC or a bigger laser, and then you're like, that comes with a lot of space.
Oh yes.
Well, for the right machine, I will add more square footage.
That was like what happened with our big one. They were like, can you fit this? And Michael was like, yes. And then he hung up and he was like, we got to figure out how to fit this.
I literally just spit my water out.
Yep. So then the next weekend we went and winterized the garage.
So we had to winterize our garage and we were like, all right, I guess we don't have a place to store the cars anymore, but
we have a CNC machine.
Well, yeah, no, who parks in their garages anymore anyways?
Yeah. And then the last little side thought on it was, oh, wait, it's 3-phase power.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then we needed to figure that out. So we now have 3-phase power in the garage too.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. Like you guys are set up.
Yeah. Now we can kind of take whatever.
No, that's like freedom. Also, it's now it's open. You can be like, ooh, what else can we get? But
it's so bad, isn't it? Like, because you always think, oh, I'll get this one thing and then I'll be good, and it just never is. There's always something else cool. Like we've been doing diode lasers like nonstop this whole calendar year.
What's the excitement for the diode? With now you have your CO2. Like, what's exciting for the diode for you?
The engraving. Well, it definitely does a better quality for the engraving.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
They're cheaper. Like we get asked about them all the time where people will say like, oh, I love watching you do your CO2 laser, but like, I don't really want to buy an industrial laser cutter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, because of all the reasons we already talked about. So
Mhm.
they'll ask like our opinions on diodes, and now we're like using them so that I can actually say an opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're honestly not bad.
No,
I
they're
was
not bad
kind
at
of
all.
surprised.
Yeah.
I thought I'd hate it. I thought I'd be like, this is so slow.
Yeah, no, I'm truly curious because I've been offered one and I'm like, again, I don't have space. So I said no to the offer. But then I was like, what would be the reason, like a good reason for me to have that? You know, like, why would I want that on top of whatever I'd have?
Yeah, well, the engraving is definitely a plus. It actually engraves, I think, faster than the CO2 laser does with greater detail if you're doing like a
Yeah.
photo or something
It
like
cuts
that.
a lot slower though. So if you're doing primarily cutting,
Yeah.
if your option is not having a laser cutter, it's great. But if you have a CO2, like for cutting,
Yeah. You're like, just throw it on there.
CO2 is a lot faster.
Yeah, and definitely the bigger the wattage, the better. You know, just like with the CO2 lasers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious. There's a new one. The company just released a 40-watt diode, which is like a first ever. Because previously, like 15 watts was like the biggest. Because all diodes are 5 watts, so they have to
they're super.
them.
Yep.
So they have to like combine them with these mirror assemblies. So the fact that they're able to get up to 40 watts is kind of impressive.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine what that looks like inside to get it all focused to the same spot.
Are you a tinkerer? Like, do you like to take things apart and investigate? Is that?
A little bit. We have a member that loves doing that though.
At the makerspace.
Yeah.
That's a big perk of the makerspace is that if we're not comfortable doing something, we probably have someone that's around regularly that is willing to. And one of our good friends, if there's a new machine, like he'll just do it for us half the time. And like we used to feel bad. Like we were like, you don't have like we can do this. It's fine. And he's like, no, I like this. This is cool.
He's probably one of those people that they enjoy putting things together so they know how it works and they get more familiar with the tool.
Yeah. No, and his hobby is like building machines. Like we like making things with the machines. He likes making the machine. So after he builds a machine, he'll do a couple projects on it, then he's ready for the next one.
It's a great member to have.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And he's always upgrading things. Like he'll send me like lists. He'll be like, can we get like this, and this, or just like random parts so he can like upgrade lasers and things. So
Oh my God. Send him
that's
over to
fun.
my house.
I know, right? Literally, like we used to feel bad. Like when he first joined the makerspace, we were like, does he just like, do we need to talk to him and like tell him he doesn't have to? And it's fine. Now it's all good.
Yep.
Does he like to like rearrange things and remodel garages? Like
he does do that
actually,
sometimes.
we
He doesn't do the
I was
remodeling,
like, send him
but
on
he does
over.
organize.
We know this girl in Springfield.
Ooh. She wants her stuff organized, but she hates organizing.
Yeah.
I've been organizing the hardware locker for the last like 3 weeks, and it's like I'm like not even near done yet. It's so bad.
It's like it's not hard to do. It's actually it's kind of fun and soothing as you're getting it done. But I'd much rather be making something or designing, you know. So it's like
instead of counting screws.
Yes. Seriously. So this is like making time to do it is like the hard part for me, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and we like it's funny because people always be like, oh, like what's the hardest part of having a makerspace? Or like what's it actually like day to day? And I'm like, cleaning. Like it's a lot of just cleaning and like organizing things. Yeah.
Repairing machines that get broken by someone else.
It happens.
I always love when like a sore subject comes up and stuff, and like the significant other is like, don't get on that one.
It's fine.
Don't go down that road.
Yeah. Who breaks machines more often, Brooke or Michael?
Brooke.
Yeah.
It's the nice part about my stuff. Everything's my fault if it's broken. So like I can only be angry at me.
That's true. It's good.
Mm-hmm. If my husband was touching stuff, I'm like, get away.
Does he do any like making of any kind or not at all?
No, he'll like hang stuff and like do regular house stuff, but he doesn't want to build. He tried it when I first started like like after we got married and after we had a kid, I started again because I've been doing this my whole life, just in just different weird versions.
Yeah.
But like when I was starting again, he went out there and he built like a Jenga set, and we didn't have any of the proper tools to make it easy with the sanding and stuff. So just, sit there with an orbital sander, all those things. After that,
It's kind of
Yeah,
perpendicular.
it's like wavy.
yeah. And then he was building like little stools and things, and he just got so sick of it. He was just like, this is stupid.
No.
Well, does he do well with computers though?
Yeah, he sells insurance during the day. Like he works in insurance.
So now that you have the laser, maybe he'll get into that side of it.
It's so funny. It's like I told him, like, once I learn this, I would love you to be able to help me with that, because like I honestly don't want to run a laser. Like I have zero interest in playing with the laser. It's just like it's a means to an end for me. I want the stuff off of it. I just don't want to touch it.
We have a ton of members who do like insurance type jobs during the day, or accountants, and all during the day they'll have like an extra, browser window open doing their little designs, so that then on the weekend they can just come and cut them.
That's funny.
But it's like it kind of opens up for like the office version of making, because you can be like thinking and like fiddling.
No, totally.
You cut it on the weekend.
I honestly think now that I have like a planer and like the right kinds of sanders, like he might actually enjoy doing that stuff.
But you don't really want to show him.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got right where I was going. But I really don't want to introduce him to the new tools, because then he'll be in that space. I've carved that space out for myself.
Yeah. No, it's really funny. When we first started doing content, and like we've always made stuff, the both of us together, and that's always been fun. But when we first started doing content together, we used to need to like lock the door to the shop so the other person wouldn't come in, because otherwise we fell apart. Like we just couldn't. We get so hard. It wasn't even like we'd get mad at each other. We would just get so awkward. Or something. So we needed to like lock it was beyond just give me my space. It was like lock the door, take a hike, come back in 3 hours, and then I'll let you know how it went. Yeah.
My husband works from home now on Thursdays and Fridays, so I try not to have any voice recording to have to do those days or anything like that, because it ends up with us just fighting. Like I usually get a sorry for existing by the end of the day, because I'm like, I was just trying to record. He's like, I'm like, why did you have to go upstairs at that moment? And then it becomes like a fight because he had to go make something to eat or something.
Yeah.
You're right. It's like you needed coffee then. Yeah. I was being so charming.
Yeah, you didn't know how good it was going.
It's so true. Or like, I don't know, the second the camera's on, it just changes the dynamic too, where we'll be being funny and natural, and then the second there's a camera, Michael and I are both just deer in headlights, like
I don't think we do that so much anymore.
No, we've grown a lot. Yeah. We've grown a lot.
It's tough. You do have to grow. Like a lot of people I know, I hear from them saying like, how are you doing that, talking to the camera or podcasting and stuff? I'm like, literally just start doing stories, and it eases you into it. Like stories are like your gateway drug. Just start getting used to putting your face on those.
No, it's so true. And stories, you can gauge humor and stuff a lot easier. So like I'll be way funnier, not funnier, but like I'll just see kind of what the temperature of things are on a story. And if it goes well, and if people get the joke and it lands, then I'll put it in permanent content.
Yeah, it's like a testing ground. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like if you post something and you look back and you're cringing at yourself and being like, wow, I'm embarrassed that I exist, you can just delete it and it's fine. And like not that many people saw it anyway.
Exactly. No, but it's so true. It's a great way to kind of like test things out. I will definitely afterwards like regret that I didn't save that story, or why did I put tags on it before I saved it? Because I'm like, that was good stuff.
Yeah, you're like, wow, I'm a star. Look at me go. Woo. So true.
I wanted to relive our meeting at Makers Camp because I thought it was hilarious.
Well, yeah, I need to hear
approached you.
I need to hear your version of this. I thought I said hi to you.
Oh, well, I think we just made eye contact. Like I was giving you a stare down earlier, and then I saw you across the fire.
I very much know who you were, like leading in. I was like, wow, she seems cool. I should meet her and say hi. So anyway,
Same.
what's
Ditto.
your version of the story, Tiff?
I just like that I approached you, and the first thing that I said to you was like, "Hey, what's up? You look really flexible."
Okay, yeah. No,
And then your reaction was, I was like, I went too far.
no. You didn't go too far. I know, because I remember that. I didn't actually remember that. I didn't remember it till you said it. And then I was like, wait a minute. No, I know where you're going with this. I think you said something where you're like, I like your content. You always seem really flexible.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Yep. No, that sounds about right.
That was funny. I thought it was funny. You're fine.
You got to come in with the zingers, you got to let them right away. Like, this is who I am.
It's true. It's true. Plus, in like group settings like that, if anyone listening's ever been to like big maker events, it's just like, you got to think of something to say, to be like, hi.
Instead of just going, hey.
Yeah.
Where does the conversation go from there? Nowhere.
No. Exactly. It's always that funny thing of like, I watch your content. Do you watch my content? If you don't, it's fine though.
No, exactly. Yep. But you said you wanted to know how I thought the conversation went.
Oh gosh.
You told me I was very articulate, and
You
thought
were.
I was like drooling from tiredness. Like,
yeah,
I thought I wasn't putting words together.
You would have been like power carving all day. I remember being like, wow, she was so articulate. I hope I didn't seem like not able to keep up, because I feel like you were really articulate.
I just talk fast and people think that I, spitting out gold.
Confidence and a smile. Yeah.
So don't let them
Pretty
actually listen to what you're saying. Just charm them with your face.
Yeah, and then do splits on the laser cutter.
Yeah, exactly. And distract them with splits.
Yes.
Well, I was laughing because I was scrolling your page and I was like, I was valid with my flexible comment.
Yeah, no, I danced growing up for like 12 years.
That makes sense.
I have to put it to some use.
It's like, an art degree and you're not making art. You gotta do art where you can, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Michael went to art school.
Did you?
Anyway, that was random, but yeah, you did. People don't know that about him.
Fun fact, you're on board, Michael. Tell us about art school.
Oh shoot, sorry if I just.
What do you want to know about art school?
Where'd you go?
I went to Roger Williams, so it's like
cool.
an art program within a bigger school.
That's fun. Yeah, I went to Westfield State and I was an art major there. So.
Oh, cool! Really? Yeah. Look at you guys.
Art major in graphic design.
Cool.
Yeah. The program I went to was kind of cool because there was only 8 people in the graduating class.
Wow, that's cool.
But it was like fully funded as like an elective program for the architecture school. So they had like tons of cool things, but like just very underutilized.
That's cool. Did you get to do like all of the different arts, or was it limited because it was such a small class?
So we had concentrations. My concentration was in large scale like public sculpture out of like metal, like big like park type things.
That's awesome.
And then my secondary concentration was photography.
Very cool. I mean, handy things to major and make the art, photograph the art.
Yep. And then other than that, we did everything from like painting to printmaking to, all sorts of different things.
It's literally the best being an art major. For all of you who really wanted it, I'm sorry if you didn't do it. You should have. It was really cool. I got to do pottery, painting, sculpture, all in one day. And maybe a little printmaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, what am I doing today? Oh, homework was making a painting. That was great.
They didn't care if you skipped math. You're just gonna be an artist anyway.
Oh my God, I took the dumbest math classes, just whatever I had to. One of them was called symbolic logic. I regretted that one.
Wait. Symbolic, what does that even mean?
Oh, it was like some old man in a robe, I feel like, just like preaching about stuff. Wasn't even about math. I gotta know what I was just like, what's going on? Those kind of moments.
Yeah, for me, they were like, you took math in high school, right? And I was like, yeah. They're like, you're good then.
Oh, I wish.
Oh man.
You know how to balance a checkbook?
Advantage of the 8-person graduating class.
You're right.
Yeah.
So different than
and then they had gotten, while we were there, they got a city campus because like they're in like Bristol, Rhode Island, so it's like in the countryside of Rhode Island. And then they got a city campus in Providence, but it was like a 30-minute like trolley ride, to like get from campus 1 to campus 2, so
That's
nobody wanted to use it. So they ended up just giving it to the art students, and they gave a whole floor of studio space for the 8 of us for senior year for our senior projects.
That sounds like an awesome
So that was kind of
experience.
fun.
Yeah. That's neat. And did you go into like pursuing a career in art afterwards, or like how did you guys get to, well, first of all, I mean meeting, but like how did you get the maker space? Like how did your life lead to that? I'm kind of curious.
I started by doing like craft fairs, and I actually did a glass blowing after college. My
Ooh.
metal teacher thought I'd like that, so I kind of did that after school because they didn't have that at the school. I did that for a number of years doing craft shows, did a lot of craft shows, like 50 of them a year. And then had the thought of, oh, well, if I get a little gallery space, it's like an everyday craft show, but I don't need to like move things around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned very
Much
quickly
preferred.
that that's not actually how it works, though. It kind of turned into an administrational job, but not a creative job. So did that for 5 years before being like,
You burned
this
out.
shop sucks. I
Yeah,
don't want
you
to do
just
this
burned
anymore.
out.
And then we liquidated everything and turned it into a makerspace.
That's funny.
As you do.
As you do.
It was kind of like overnight.
It really was.
I was kind of like, I was looking around. I was like, I wanted to do art, and then I was selling art, and now I'm selling like $2 pewter coins because that's what people want to buy. I was like, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
And then inside of like a week, we like had like going out of business signs up, and
we were so done. Yeah, no, you wanted a CNC machine, like you'd heard of this thing, and you were like,
this contraption.
Yeah, and you were like, I want one. And I was like, honestly, fine, like whatever, because you were so burned out of doing like just selling work and stuff, that like anything that was exciting. And I was doing STEM education at the time. I was writing curriculum for schools before makerspace was a buzzword, and so that was cooking and it was good. So the idea of having CNC machines as back-end support for that program was great. So it happened really quickly, but there was some logic to it because, I could do back-end for what I was doing, and it could be a makerspace too. And then we liquidated it. And we didn't even know about the internet, like maker community at all, not even a little bit. We just
ahead of the game.
Yeah, no, I think we made a Facebook event for like, there's a new maker space opening, like come see it, I guess. And then like a ton of people came, and we were like, whoa, okay,
maybe this is something.
We were like, maybe this is a thing.
So now only one rule: I don't make work to sell.
Yeah, we just don't sell our work, period.
Yeah, that's nice. To not have
to. I mean,
mean,
we've worked really hard to get to the point where that can be our standard, to be fair, but that is how we like it.
No, it is. It's nice. Making products, like that's how I make extra money. Like I don't have to survive off of it, thankfully. But now that's how I bring in extra cash. I love making products to sell. Like it's my favorite. But like when they don't sell, then you have to sell them because they're just sitting there. That's the part I hate. So like I have inventory that I have to sell. And it's like, come on, this is awesome stuff. Like, come on. Pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. It's nicer in person, I promise you. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that part of having to market myself, which is so funny because I'll market the hell out of Saburrtooth. You know what I mean? But like when it comes to myself, I'm like, oh.
It's like super personal, strangely.
It is.
It's like, this is my artwork that I just did because I thought it was cool in my brain, and now I need to put a price tag on it.
Exactly. And then I have to throw it at your face. Like, look at this. I made this. And then you got to do it again.
And you have to deliver it with like full confidence too. And like, who's actually fully confident in anything they've ever made? Like, I hate every single thing I made until at least 6 months after. When I look back at it in 6 months, then I'm like, that was cool, bro. Good job. But it's just hard. Yeah. No. The other thing that we like is that we like doing projects where we don't need to worry about like the price tag that it would need to have. Yeah. If that makes sense, where we can just do something. Whatever you want into it. Yeah. We can just do something because it's cool.
Like the gingerbread house.
Yes. That was so funny because it like popped off so fast on TikTok.
Did it?
When I posted that, yes. And I did that whole thing. I made all the content. I baked every sheet of gingerbread in 4 days. And it became a month's worth of content. But like Michael you were like so sick of it by the end of it. You were like, I never want to see gingerbread again.
I'm sure.
The laser cutter was like sticky. Like it was just gross.
It took me 8 hours to clean it at the end of it.
You need to say that to the mic, my friend. 8 hours of cleaning.
Though? That's crazy.
But it went viral, so
that's awesome. No, I mean, sometimes it is worth it to get what you want, your goal. If your goal is to build a following, it's like sometimes you got to do crazy things to get people's eyes caught.
That one wasn't even like for the followers. I just remember thinking of it and I was like, this is just a good idea. Like I
meant like your goal in general, not like that project was your yeah. I had a skull that I made it was just an order. It was somebody's logo. And same thing, TikTok just went off, and I was just like, this is amazing. Like, cause I that is a goal of mine. I do want to build my following. So like, I was just sitting there psyched. I'm like, it's so nice when a project leads to something like that, like something that you did and you enjoyed it. Like I loved making that skull, Yeah.
Well, it's nice. It's nice when people appreciate what you're doing for what you're doing, because I don't know, like I really like architecture in old buildings and things like that. So, obviously our content tends to have sort of a silly tone to it, but I very unironically like those things and really appreciate those things. So when I was like, I want to make a gingerbread house and try to like replicate some of the old architecture of this as best as I can anyway, like that wasn't me being funny. Like I thought that would be really cool. And I wanted to display it at a big downtown event, because I think it's so important for kids to see things like that. And then it teaches them to appreciate it and, maintain it for the next generation and stuff. And what was so ironic is that it felt really good because on TikTok, people immediately saw that and were like, thank you for doing this. Like, this is so cool. This is important beyond it just being fun and silly. The town that we're in didn't care at all. Like nothing. Like they didn't care. Like I don't even think I got posted to the Facebook page of the event I had the thing at. Yeah. Which fine. I shouldn't like
the better cause, the bigger outreach, I guess.
TikTok understood.
TikTok got it.
I shouldn't like slander our town, but
I mean, I would want to get reposted too if it was like an event there and you built that big thing. So I get it.
Yeah, it was fine.
I enjoyed when you started using like non-items like sugar to adhere your gingerbread house. So you're like, you're not going to eat it anyways. Like, let's be real. Like, who's going to eat that?
People were upset about that.
Oh boy.
Like I used a little bit of epoxy like just on a corner because something snapped and I did it in 4 days. And like the internet was like, but how will you eat it? I'm like, who eats gingerbread? Like, what are you talking about?
Well, that kind of gingerbread.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that build stuff. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
You like a little bite,
you'll
just
break your tooth.
Yeah, they're like, but it's gonna taste so bad now. It's like, was it gonna taste good before? Like, this is the Tower of Crisco and egg whites, you see.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. There you go. There's your next TikTok rant. You should start doing those.
And a lot of people were very upset that she was putting her shoe in the laser.
Oh my gosh. Yes, because I like would stick my foot up on it and they'd be like, but you walk on the ground with those shoes. And I was like, yeah, and then like there was a funny thread, and like I'm not shaming anybody for leaving comments. Like people need to speak their truth, and this was this person's truth. But someone was like, yeah, but like you walk in the toilet with those boots on. And I was like, do I now? Someone was like, yeah, but she's not going to eat the gingerbread house. It's more of a gingerbread decoration. And they're like, yeah, but would you dunk your Christmas decorations in the toilet?
That's funny. They were going at it in the comments. That's funny.
I think when we were at Total Boat in early December, the first day we were at Total Boat, my phone kept dinging and dinging and dinging and dinging. And it was just these people on TikTok arguing about should shoes go in the laser cutter?
Whatever works. Boost the content. Thanks, ladies.
Yeah. No, it was men.
Dudes?
It was dudes. Yeah, it was dudes.
Thanks, dudes. Sorry for assuming.
A couple of them were even very confused about where she was able to find gingerbread stock to buy.
Oh yeah, people were asking me that too. I was like, maybe next year we'll sell laser ready sheets, and then maybe we'll sell laser ready gingerbread sheets next year.
New product. You're like, do I really want to be playing with Crisco and egg whites all of next year though? Maybe.
I gotta do another one. I have to do another one
there
now.
You go.
Yeah, we were just talking about it, like what building should I do next year? You know, we have
Back
ideas.
to the Future clock tower.
Just go with the clock tower thing.
Just different
Pick
clock
different
towers.
clock towers every
That's
year.
pretty cool.
Oh, very cool. We have ideas. We'll see.
I like how you started elaborating on it, right? It's like, oh yeah, we could play with this.
Yeah.
How did you get hooked up with Total Boat and all that fun? Just kind of started experimenting with it? Or?
Well, we were at, where were we?
Maker Camp the first year.
It was like the first year Maker Camp when it was like the first year, like people didn't know about it or anything.
I had no clue what it was.
We almost didn't go because we couldn't figure out what this event was. And then a couple of our friends were like, hey, are you coming? Like really hyping it up. And so we went on the website to see what it was. And we were like, what is it though? Like, yeah, I don't know. So we showed up and went, and Total Boat was there. And that was when we first met them. Just was chatting there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I had no clue what it was until like Lucas and Dre were talking about it, like in Clubhouse. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. Like, what is this?
Yeah. And actually, like, it's Jamestown Distributors, which like Jamestown, Rhode Island, like I don't know. We just had a lot in common. We got to chatting with them. We were like, how have we never met you guys before just in passing in life? So anyway, yeah, Total Boat.
That's cool. No, they're nice. They're fun.
Super fun.
And actually, there's a lot of cool artists that work with them, which is nice.
A lot of cool artists that work with them. And we have, in fact, tried a bunch of resin brands, and they are, in fact, our favorite.
So that works out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, the same thing with Saburrtooth. Like, I genuinely love that product. So I feel really good about working with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes me happy.
Yeah, well, like we won't really work with companies that we don't like.
Yeah.
Because it just creates like a weird line. But like we've been playing with the diodes, like we said, but we've been I'm very open with the people where like I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
If I hate it, I'm gonna say I hate it.
Yeah. As we all should.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want to lead someone.
Yeah, no, it's expensive. And the last thing we want is for a follower to trust our opinion on something and then spend their hard-earned money on something that's, not great. Because it's not like, what is it? Like there's like TikTok drama about someone recommending bad mascara. It's not like $6 mascara, right? Like it's a multi-$1,000 tool sometimes.
Or a gateway drug towards that. Like, I feel like you buy one thing and you're like, oh, then now I gotta buy this, and then I gotta get this.
Yeah, it's so true.
So how long has the makerspace been open for?
6 years, I think.
Whoa, not 6 years. Has it been?
I think so.
2018.
5 years.
Cool.
2018,
5 or 6 years, yeah.
2019.
I think it's 5 or 6 years.
Wow, we should know this.
You need to make an established sign so that way you just like you see it.
We probably should.
You should. You've had some few years under your belt now.
Yeah.
Time to be proud of it.
There's like the pandemic time warp in the middle though.
Yeah.
Just like, what happened? Huh?
I bet that had to be hard with that.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Like we were really lucky, and it could have gone a lot worse than it did for us. So
That's good.
If we still had the gallery, that probably would have closed as a part of it.
Of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You couldn't do sales with that. But
That's so true. It's so good that you pivoted.
Our community at the makerspace is really supportive of it, and they all just love that it's in town. So they kind of just like we all got together and we just kind of decided to mothball it.
Yeah.
To minimize the cost, and then everybody very happily contributed, their portion of it to make sure it was there at the end.
Yeah, our members paid for us to be closed and said that they wanted us to be closed because they wanted us to be able to stay home. And like, we gave computers, like all the kids. Oh, this was sweet. I forgot about this part. When all the kids were needing to do remote school and stuff, like we lent out, all the Makerspace members got to take computers so that every kid had a computer.
That's awesome.
At home and things like that. And we would run files for people. So it wasn't actually a bad experience, which I even feel bad saying because I know it was a really bad experience for a lot of small business owners.
I say you should be proud. You should be happy that it worked out.
Yeah.
It means you made that right choice when you did, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm glad we had that like rash, impulsive decision to just open a makerspace exactly when we did, because by the time the pandemic hit, we had a pretty established community. Yeah.
And at the end of it, we automated everything. So now everybody gets like a key card so they can let themselves in.
Sorry.
Smart. As she just gently attacks you.
I'm just trying to get the soda, okay? But yeah, please let me gently attack you. I like that.
It was like, oh, pardon me, but move. So what are you experimenting right now with Brittany on? I'm loving the videos.
Oh, we're doing a living hinge wave out of resin, which was actually Brittany's idea. Like she hit me up and was like, living hinge, resin, wave. Like, let's do it. And I was like, okay. Yeah. So that's the current concept.
So it's more of an experiment than a finished product, because it's like a wave, which could become a part of a finished product, but it's not really the best on its own.
It's cool though, because you're pushing on something though, like you're trying something that I haven't seen done yet, you know?
Yeah. And I really was excited about it because it was something that blended what Brittany did and what I did in a way where we both were kind of like, I have no clue if this is gonna work, but like, let's do it.
No, and it's a true three-dimensional resin wave.
Yeah.
The painting technique that they do, how they call that three-dimensional waves.
Yeah, Brittany bends them.
Yeah. So
the internet hasn't seen the finished product yet, though.
They'll see it soon. Like tomorrow.
No.
No.
It is not scheduled for tomorrow.
No, there was so much video. Like there's a lot to get through. Brittany's really funny.
She seems that I don't know her well, but she seems like she's funny.
She's really funny. So I have to just like sift through all the clips and figure out what gets cut and what makes it. Anyway.
There's just going to be a lot of outtakes is what I'm hearing.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
That's great though. That's a cool experiment. I like that. And like the hinges and all that, you do a lot of neat things with that. I was scrolling and saw like you make bags out of it. Like you really play around a lot with the laser.
Oh,
Have you been doing that forever? Like
I love doing pattern making. Like I grew up sewing. So like Michael grew up knowing how to use power tools and like building things. That was like, so I don't know. I feel like you've always been a maker. Like, I never even really thought of myself as a maker, but I did sew a lot as a kid. And I really love the like puzzle of putting something together. And I love math.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were art school people.
This all makes sense why you're enjoying the laser.
Yeah. So like for me, I love just figuring out the numbers to make the dimensions of something to get it to magically work and fit together. So yeah, and it's just practice too. I guess I'm technically self-taught, but at this point it's been, however many years of Maker's Workshop being open. That's how long I've been doing this.
That's awesome. No, that's really cool. Like we didn't get that education in art school. Like lasers weren't a thing.
No.
CNCs were not a thing when I was in school. I mean, I went to college in 2000, so like it's been a long time. I graduated in 2004. So
well, Michael, you were a photography major and you said the year after you graduated they switched to digital. So how to
literally the day after our graduation ceremony, they ripped out the dark rooms. And replaced them with computer labs.
So
you were for like very point blank telling me this degree is worthless.
Like here we are doing
iPhone.
Though
seriously.
Right.
Yeah. No, and here we are doing like iPhone photography now. Like, cheese, selfie, kick. But
I know it's crazy. I dated myself there. But it's true though, like we were still playing around with paint and like Illustrator was still like new,
Paint.
you know? Yeah, exactly. So it's
Yeah.
like learning Illustrator was something new. I built websites in Dreamweaver. Like, so anything that I've learned over the years is just you're teaching yourself, YouTube.
Yeah, no, and it's
Well, it's kind of funny though, because like for years I didn't do any of that stuff. And then when we did this last website shift, I needed more functionality than you could get on like any of the Shopify's or any of those. So I had to switch back to WordPress, and now everything is in the code form again. So if
really?
I had not needed to do that early on, I'd be totally lost.
Got you. Well, that works. But it is funny, like just like the skills that you have to morph into. I do get jealous of like people who are younger and they're doing this already. I'm like, you jerks, you don't know how long it took us to get to this point.
Right?
Oh, gosh.
And you don't need to do that because the people that we went to school with built that for you.
Yeah, exactly. We couldn't just hop into this all willy-nilly. We had to do it manually. It's like when I got hired at my previous job, I worked making like advertisements and coupon books and stuff. Then when I was first hired there, 17 years ago now it would be, they had just finished literally cutting things out with X-Acto knives and mocking things up, and they were just moving to building things in Adobe PDFs. So like, and stuff. It was just funny. Like I came in and it was just like, technology is here.
There was an amazing exhibit that we went to at the MFA that was Life magazine. And it was incredible. They had like the first edition and you could see it was like really interesting to see like old school graphic design basically and how they were putting together photo stories. And like there's like the lines drawn on the pictures for where they're going to be.
You guys got so blurry and
I feel like I'm blurry,
tripping out right now.
I know. I was just trying to talk past it and make it seem like it was fine.
You were trying to, but I'm like, I am just tripping out.
Why did that happen?
His hand is so perfectly clean.
Look at those veins on Michael's hand right there. Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry. What were you saying now?
It was really deep. It was like this really deep, smart thing. No. Life magazine. It was a really cool exhibit. You could see on the back of the photos, like the notes and stuff that the editors would put on, or like where they wanted to crop it. And then I think, what was it called? There was like some official term, but it was basically just like a scrapbook. That was the first mock-up of the concept of the magazine. Cool. And it was like literally like someone just cut with scissors and like glued something down. Huh?
Used a glue stick.
Glue stick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rulers,
some glue stick action.
and some glue.
Yeah.
Yep. It was very crafty.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
Little arts and crafts.
I know we're at the end. Is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about that we didn't touch on?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We have a slab sale coming up soon.
Hey,
have we announced the dates of this?
We can announce them right now.
Oh, I hope I get them right though.
Ooh,
the first weekend of March.
The first weekend of March. It might be right over Workbench Con, which we are not going to.
March 1st through 3rd.
If you are in the Massachusetts area and you are feeling like you're missing out on Workbench Con, fear not. You can come to Maker's Workshop at 55A Main Street in Maynard, Massachusetts, which is right near the clock tower.
Oh.
You see the clock tower, the gingerbread one, same thing. You can see the clock tower and you can come say hi to us and get some locally salvaged slabs as raw material for your upcoming projects.
Look at that sales pitch. Just like she
and a free sticker, so it'll be like you went to Workbench.
Yeah, you get a sticker from us. Everyone will be getting stickers from Workbench Con. No. You want the Maker's Workshop sticker, and that is not going to be in Atlanta. That is going to be at 55A Main Street, first weekend of March for the slab sale.
There are going to be a lot of people wishing they were there, and they might just have to, heed this and get over there.
The slab sales are fun. I'm just saying, we have a great time every time.
And you have a huge inventory. I saw you guys have been
we have a pretty big inventory.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's all stuff that's from Massachusetts too. So if you're a Massachusetts maker, I think it adds meaning to whatever you're putting together. If it's, material that comes from here. We'll also have laser ready sheets in person if people want to check them out in person. And we also have dimensioned lumber as well. It's called a slab sale just because it has a nice zing to it.
Well, I mean, for sure.
But
what kind of woods do you have for the laser ready sheets?
Laser ready sheets, we have ash, cherry, walnut,
mulberry,
maple, pin oak, red oak.
Wow.
The laser ready sheets ship, so you can buy them whenever and they ship
That's cool.
whenever. The slabs, unfortunately, are very expensive to ship, so we do slab sales for those.
Okay. And we do have the website does keep a running tally. It has a live inventory for the laser ready sheets. So
perfect. That's awesome. Keep pushing them, guys. I'm glad that I can have you on here to talk to everybody.
Yeah, no, we wanted to push them heavier this year, just because we started having enough inventory. And I posted, I think, like 2 reels or 1 reel where I softly mentioned them, and it was like bing, 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 and then we were like, oh no! And Michael was like, you need to stop mentioning them, stop talking about them.
Or the existing customers won't get any.
We have enough, which is the right problem to have. But that's why I feel like I haven't talked about them much. It's not because we aren't very much selling them. It was like, oh no.
I mean, that makes sense. If you have a planned thing, you want to actually have wood to sell people. They show up to your shop. You know what? We had a ton.
Sorry.
There's a few picked over ones over there.
I know. Yeah.
I get it. That's cool though. But now people know that you're there. Even if they miss that sale, they know that you exist. And,
And the one thing I will say is we have very high quality standards, so there are no picked over ones.
There are no picked over ones. We try to make sure they're all
anything that is that level becomes a sample project that we use.
That's the stuff that we use, yeah.
No, that's great though, because people know they go there and they get something that's quality. Like I had a place I could actually go, and it was the best that I knew. I didn't have to look at the boards. I could trust the guy to give me what I needed, and it was beautiful.
It's not like today, huh?
No, I miss that relationship.
You're in a lumber store now, and you need to pick through all the 2x4s to find the one straight one.
Yeah, no, this was like a small little lumber mill. I was driving like an hour away to go to because
it's worth
he was
it.
Just exactly. He was giving me great products for a great price, so it's like it definitely was worth it. I had so many loads in our minivans. So many.
Yeah,
I miss that minivan.
Yeah, we wanted to be, when we were doing the salvage lumber and figuring it out, we felt very strongly that we wanted to be a product that actually would work for makers, because if it doesn't work for makers, like what's the point? So we try to have a really high quality with it, and it's all kiln dried, and yeah, we try to price it affordably. Like we try to make it reasonable.
Yeah, you want people to come back.
Exactly.
There's a key to that. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and I really, really appreciate it. So have a great night.
You too. Thanks so much for having us on.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
I really hope you enjoyed getting to know Brooke and Michael. I know I sure did. And if you're in the Massachusetts area and you're looking for a makerspace or some supplies, now you know there's a new resource for you. And that's honestly, I'm excited to start doing that for people, to kind of highlight the products if you're a maker, highlight what those things that you're making, because they're essential to keeping your business afloat, and they're helping other businesses like mine and yours have these awesome resources that we may not have known about before. Make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast and to the Instagram page for it, so that way you're notified the next time an episode drops. I have some great guests lined up. They still may not come out weekly, as I have not been able to make that magic happen with everything that's going on in my life. But I'm going to be having them come out at least once, twice a month. So just make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. And if you're pondering going to Workbench Con, I've got a code that'll save you $50. It is NIGHTCARVER, and all you gotta do is just add that at checkout, save yourself a little money, and come join us. I am so excited for the amount of people that are coming this year. It's gonna be a little overwhelming, but also just amazing. So I can't wait to see everybody who is going to that. And yeah, that's all I've got. See you next time.